I love it. Now tell me a joke.
Okay. So it's springtime. So I'm in the spring mode, feeling spring.
Right.
So my joke is, why is Yoda a great gardener?
Why?
Because he has a green thumb.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Now, what is the last organ to go when a person dies?
The last organ to go when a person dies. I don't know. What is it?
Your eyes, they dilate.
You
like that one? Good. Now, I have in the past, over the past few podcasts, I've had some people to come back, and you are one of them. We had such a good time getting to know you, as well as your role here in City Hall. But a lot of people didn't get a chance to see or hear that podcast. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I am a newbie to the city. I don't know if I can still call myself a newbie. So
no, you're not a newbie anymore.
It'll be 3 years in April that I've been here, which feels like, wow, time flies, and we've done a lot in those 3 years. But it is definitely been an incredible experience to be here in Birmingham, and I've really loved being here. I moved here from Boston. I moved to Boston in 2015, and I moved there for my doctoral program, and then I stayed around there working with a national nonprofit called Enterprise Community Partners that does affordable housing and community development across the country, specifically doing capacity building around culture and creativity in the affordable housing and community development space. But I got an opportunity to potentially come and work for the city and lead this work that we're doing here. And when I got that call, I certainly was inspired by Mayor Woodfin's leadership to consider it. And I didn't think I would be in city government, but it has absolutely been one of the most impactful roles that I've ever had the opportunity of participating in. And I'm grateful every day for the responsibility to be able to impact so many lives in our community. And this is definitely I've moved around a lot. So I was in a military family. My stepfather was in the military. And then I went to West Point undergrad. So I was in the military. And so I've moved a ton around the country. I've deployed, etc. But Birmingham, I think, is the place that I've felt most at home of everywhere that I've lived. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to be in the same space as your parents. So both of my parents live here. They've been here for about 15 years. My brother is here. So not only does my immediate family wrap their arms around me in this city, but my larger work family and the friend families that I've built here are all part of my community, as well as the residents that we serve. And it just feels really good to see the fruits of your labor in real time with that impact you and your family, as well as your extended family. So it's been great. It's really been great. Yeah, I think moving from a big city like Boston, before that I was in New York City, I knew I didn't have a car. I didn't own a car. I haven't owned a car for the last decade. So I knew that I wanted to live somewhere that was walkable, that I felt like I could get to know people, that I had a tight area that allowed me, particularly as a single woman, right, to feel safe where I was living, but also have access to build community. So my parents live in the Pizitz, actually.
Okay.
And so I have been acquainted with downtown and downtown living here in Birmingham because of them.
Yeah.
And so I knew how much my mom loved it. If you know my mom, she walks everywhere. You will see her randomly walking down the street some days. And I knew that that was something that I wanted to be in proximity to my family, to be in proximity to work, but also to be able to build community easily. And so when I started looking, originally I thought, okay, I'll stay with my parents for a little while. I'll do some apartment searching. I'll figure out what I want. But I found a place downtown almost immediately that I fell in love with. And I bought my first home downtown in Birmingham. And so it really, to me, is a story of like what is attainable here. In other places, I could never have afforded to buy a home, a condo like I bought here in Boston or New York City for that matter. But not only was I able to purchase my first home here, I was also able to be close to family, walk to work, walk to everything that I needed, and have it really accessible here. I think that that's really important for people. And I think a lot of younger adults and folks who are starting families really want to be able to have that type of lifestyle. And downtown Birmingham is a place that you can have that.
I was trying to figure out how to bring it out.
Yeah.
And you said it.
Okay.
So let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
What is it like being a single here in Birmingham? and like, you know, is it a good single scene here? You know, what are your thoughts there?
You know, that's a good question. I think single dating in your, you know, late 30s, mid 30s is probably challenging anywhere. I think what I've learned is that what I'm interested in is someone that I can just have fun with, someone who, you know, can teach me something, someone who is interested in learning new things and trying new things and wants to explore. And I think there's a lot of opportunity in Birmingham to do those types of activities. Now, finding someone who is single in the age group, ready to be in relationship has proven to be not as seamless, but also I think to the defense of dating at this age, I have been really focused here on this work. Yeah. And so my mind frame when I moved here was, how do I do this job well? And there was a lot to do in that for me. I don't have any children, but has felt like, you know, carrying a child, nurturing it, trying to, you know, there are about 50 folks in my department, you know, learning new people and personalities. Like, these are folks that I have to pour into and who do that for me, vice versa. And that's a huge responsibility. And so dating was not my number one priority, I will admit. However, now I am, you know, we're figuring some things out here in the workspace. I have a little more free moments of time. So I am interested in exploring more of the dating scene. But like I told you, I don't really be outside unless I'm eating or working out or walking around or getting a mocktail. But you know, maybe some of those mocktails could be with
but
else.
At least you're saying that this is a good city to be single in.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, there's lots of activities. I mean, if nothing else, there's so many things that you can do to continue to invest in yourself. And what I feel like my approach is, the more I invest in myself and the things that I'm doing and the things that I enjoy that take me different places, there I will be exposed to other people that I also might be interested in who are doing some of those similar things, engaging in some of those similar things. So I do think there is that. And, you know, we're still very Southern here in Birmingham. So we still have Southern values, you know, hospitality, chivalry. We have men that care about values and want marriage and value marriage and partnership. And so I think that that is certainly a benefit. Get you a good old, you know, country Southern man. And I have no issues with that. So If you're out there, I'm single.
She shot her shot. Now to the work, right? I would love to get a personal assessment. What did you walk into? Where are we now? And then where are we going?
Yeah. So I think with any transfer or change in leadership, there are growing pains. And what was really interesting about my change into this leadership position was we were coming off of COVID, right? Which was like unprecedented global experience that impacted the country and the world in ways that we couldn't have anticipated. We didn't know. And so, we had some challenges around our capacity, right? There were we needed more folks in here with expertise doing the work. We had challenges around stalled projects or programs that weren't moving as quickly as we needed them to. And so some of what has to happen in that transfer of leadership, and for me in coming into a new organization, is really being able to analyze what's working and what's not working. And then the why, right? What are the ways that we can adjust, that we can revamp, that we can try things a little bit differently in order to get a different outcome? And so what we've seen here is, how do we, in city government is notorious for bureaucracy, government in general, right? Red tape, the things that make it slow. So how are we able to make things faster while not skimping on quality? And that really was the analysis that we were taking. And what we've been able to do is revamp our critical repair program. So we had a backlog of probably about 100 homes in our critical repairs. We cleared that backlog out, and we've done an additional 150 homes with critical repairs because we revamped the program. We tried to understand what was challenging about it, rework it, and address it and relaunch it. The same with our facade improvement grant, which is for small businesses to be able to get facades done to their businesses, as well as our small business loan program. And so we had some backlog, but then we were able to clear that out. And now we're preparing to be able to support, I think, 8 new businesses to be able to have facade improvements. We were able to then understand our grant process and how we want to partner with other agencies that are out there doing similar work, which allowed us to really be more collaborative and go after this Choice Neighborhood Initiative grant and get $50 million for Smithfield neighborhood revitalization in partnership with the Housing Authority of the Birmingham District. We were able to think critically about what our approach and what our role is in how we're addressing the challenges around unhoused residents in our community, and really think about what really are the things, what's the pipeline and pathway to housing, what are the challenges people are experiencing, and where are the places that we as the city can start to support to think about how people have a different experience. So we launched the HEART program, which is our kind of community-based public safety program where Urban Alchemy is responding to calls that are diverted from 911 or 311 and going out to de-escalate situations and help folks get one-on-one service to move into whatever is the right option for them. We recently were approved for our operational budget of Home for All, which is our micro shelter program, which is going to provide wraparound service as well as safe sleep for folks who are experiencing homelessness, to have another point in the pipeline for how they can get the support they need to actually be able to retain and sustain housing options as they move forward from being on the street to being in housing. And so there's a lot of little ways that we've really thought about the overall housing spectrum, what is needed at each point in the pipeline, what the role is of the city to be a supporter, a catalyst, or a leader in those processes or programs, and really started to work that. And so we have, I think, over 2,000 units of affordable housing that have been approved by City Council over the past 4 years. And I think what we're going to see going forward, I think folks see the approval of things and are like, all right, I want to see that thing tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I get that because I have the same sense of urgency in wanting things to move because we need it and we deserve those things yesterday. Right. But the reality of development is that it is a slow window of time to really move through the financing and the approvals and the materials and the construction. But I think what we're going to start seeing, because we have been in this for the past 3 years, is those seeds that we have planted really start to grow and literally grow some of our developments out of the ground. And so over the course of this year, next year, and into our 3rd year going forward, we're really going to start to see a lot of these developments pop up. And I think folks are going to be really excited about what we've done and where we're going.
We have a new administration, and there have been a lot of things put on hold and all that kind of stuff. Is that going to impact Smithfield at all? Or are we worried about that? Or
so we are hopeful that it will not. As of right now, we have conversations with our representatives from HUD monthly. We do check-ins with them bi-weekly. And so I think they're going to have to change maybe some language. They're really doing the digging around what is going to have to change to be able to move the projects forward. But I think because the commitment has been made that is not a place that we're going to have to worry about the funding. I think where we will have to think about things is, we're seeing these cuts happen in real time across federal agencies. I think it would be naive to believe that no cuts will happen to any of our funding moving forward that we utilize from the federal government, particularly from HUD or any of these agencies. And so we're really trying to be strategic right now in real time about what does that mean for us? What are our priorities? If some of this funding goes away, how do we continue to move forward our critical projects? And what's the city's role in making sure that we can do that?
Finally, we have a large number of empty lots, vacant lots here in the city of Birmingham. And there is, of course, the land bank component where people can get those lots, upgrade those lots and whatnot. But how can our citizens what programs specifically can our citizens take advantage of through your office, and how can they contact you as it relates to community development and particularly homes?
Yeah, so our critical repair program, which we've been working on those 250 homes over the past 2 years, we're preparing for a relaunch of that program for next year. So we will reopen that that program to new applicants who have not yet received. We'll be prioritizing folks who have never received a critical repair to their home. That's $30,000 up to $30,000 for critical repairs to your home. We are looking to do about 100 for the next year. That's 2026. So we are looking to finish out the ones that we already committed to over the past 2 years. And going forward, we're going to do it on 1-year cycles to try to do 100 homes annually. And so we want people to be looking out for that. We're going to be posting information on our website, putting it out on all of our channels so that people can be prepared. This is specifically for homeowners to get critical repairs to their home. But that's a really important part of our pipeline, again, right? Is that homeowners are able to maintain their homes, live in healthy situations, so that the value of their home maintains, but also the viability of their home. Some of what we see, right, in our communities around blighted properties is homes that were previously owned by folks that have been left to be dilapidated, right? Whether that is because the deferred maintenance got so bad, folks pass on and don't have folks that they're passing this asset to, or who they are passing it to aren't caring for it. And so we see those properties go into disrepair, and that leads to that blight in our communities. And so we've really been thinking about what are those programs that help us to maintain and sustain really beautiful housing stock that is across our city. So that's one of them. A second we've been working on, we did a number of wills clinics over the past, over last year. We're going to be bringing those back as well, because one of the challenges is heir property, right? So who are you passing this home to? Who does this asset belong to? Who's responsible for this asset that can continue to grow it, maintain it, and ensure, even if it's not going to be your primary place of living, that it doesn't become a problem in our community or to its neighbors. And so we're going to be relaunching those as well coming up this year. So those will be wills clinics, heirship trusts, learning about how do you maintain your asset that is your home and really is still the number one kind of wealth building tool in our country. How do you make sure that it is creating value for you and for your community? So those are a couple of things that we're going to be doing this year. So we really want people to be on the lookout for that into next year as well.
You mentioned the channels. How can people find community development on social media, website?
Yes. So our website is cobcd.com. Our social media, let's see, because I'm like, what is our social media? That's a good question. I should know this, but
I want to say it's
COB Community Development is our Instagram. So you will find, we post all of our new projects, upcoming things, all the things that we're doing, we post on our Instagram and on our Facebook. But we also have it on our website available to you. And that's also where you can reach out and contact us. Again, we're also on the 10th floor of City Hall, so you can walk right on in. There's always somebody here at the front desk that can meet you, greet you, and find the right person for you to talk to, whatever it is that you're looking for or inquiring about.
Give us some shout outs before you go.
Yes. Okay, great. I would like to give a shout out to my mom, Valerie Thomas. If you ever see her walking around, just know, hey girl, hey Val. That's who inspired me in part to be here and to find a walkable community like downtown Birmingham. I'd also like to give a shout out to my staff, Corey Stallworth, Caroline Douglas, Alice Williams, Kelvin Datcher, Randy Foy, because they are my deputy directors here and they really lead a lot of this critical work. I could not do it without them, and I wouldn't want to. And to the rest of my staff in community development, they are amazing. They work hard for all of you every day. And so if you see any of the community development staff around City Hall, out in the streets, give them a shout out, a pat on the back, a dap or something, because they are working hard every day to make sure that Birmingham can be the best that it can be.
Okay. So 3 years is enough time to have some favorites, right? What is your favorite restaurant here in Birmingham?
Ooh, okay. So I like to eat local. We have a lot of gyms here in Birmingham. I'm a pescatarian. Okay. So I really only eat like seafood, vegetables, things like that, even though I still, love the smell of bacon. It tempts me every single time, but I haven't had bacon in a while. But I really love, so there's a new restaurant that really kind of got here, I think around the same time as me, and it's a block over from me. It's called Pizza Grace. So it's a local pizza spot. Last year, they were like Beard nominated as a best new restaurant. They're really delicious. If you have not tried them, they have amazing pizza, salads, and actually the owner is a pastry chef. One of the owners, they're a couple. They came from DC. So the pastries are delicious, and what they learned in developing pastries has blended into how they create pizza. It's really fascinating. I saw them do an expo about how you make pizza, which I had no idea how to make pizza dough, but it's delicious. So that's one of my favorites. I think me and my mom go to Automatic Seafood probably once every 2 weeks because our routine in the morning is on Saturday mornings we go to Pepper Place, so we try to get all of our local food from our local farmers, regional farmers, as much as we can. And then we have brunch at Automatic, and it just never gets old. I look forward to it. Another restaurant that's down the street from me is Lafette, which is they also own a bakery, Bandit Bakery, which is near the Essential, but it's about to open up right next to where I live, unfortunately and fortunately, because I don't need to be eating croissants and muffins and cookies, but the smell of baked goods in the morning is definitely something inspiring. So hopefully I'll be walking to work more once they open up. But yeah, I would say those are some of my favorites on the healthy side. Trying to be healthy, trying to be conscious, but also supporting local businesses that started right here in Birmingham.
Now, that's your favorite place, one of your couple of your favorite places to eat. What about your favorite place to drink?
So I stopped drinking alcohol in August.
Okay.
So I have not been drinking alcohol. So I've really been digging into the mocktail situation of it all. I also am not a coffee drinker.
I love the mocktails.
Yes. I'm also not a coffee drinker, but I do like tea. So matchas is my thing. And so there's a couple of places. One of them is Grounds. It's on 3rd Avenue. It's in Basic, which is actually a boutique, but it is a coffee shop. They also have chocolates in there. But they have really good tea, really good coffee. So I like that spot. I also recently tried Pogo, which is a new speakeasy on 1st Avenue.
Not to be from here, you know all the spots.
Oh, listen, I like to eat and drink now.
Yeah.
What I might not do a whole lot. I might not be outside a whole lot, but you can catch me at a restaurant for sure. They have some really good mocktails at Pogo. It's brand new. I think it's been open for maybe 2 months.
Okay.
So they have good mocktails. Where else did I have a good mocktail the other day? The Kelly Hotel. They have a really beautiful bar. Yeah, they do. So if you like the libations, they have that too.
Right.
But you can also get a cute little mocktail. Adios is also on 1st Avenue North.
Okay.
I think they were recently awarded something for their design of their of the bar, which is beautiful. If you go in there, they are more like tequilas and things like that, but they also will do mocktails there as well. So there's plenty of opportunities for a mocktail, a cocktail, whatever you're looking for downtown for sure.
Absolutely.